Hi, good day to everyone. And right now we are going to have our last unit discussion. So, last unit na gid ni siya, guys. And after this one, you can then start making your lesson plan. For those nga, if ever nanay nakahimo, perhaps you may revisit your lesson plans specifically in the procedure part because this chapter talks about that part sa inyong creativity sa inyong strategy sa inyong instruction. Okay, so the chapter 4 focuses on the instructional strategies and divided siya into three. First one is learner-centered instructional strategies. Another one is the assessment criteria for effective lessons and effective teaching skills atong lesson 3. All right, so let's start. Right, just for a while. Okay. So learner-centered instructional strategies. So of course, we are in the new approach in teaching. I mean, we are in the 21st century. So our approach now should change into a much more non-traditional way of handling the classroom. And it's going to be a learner-centered type. So unlike before, na very traditional, more on teacher-centered kay siya. Okay. And it doesn't focus on the learner. So karon ang atong focus gid is actually ang development sa learner, so not the development of the teacher. So active learning is a student-centered approach in which the responsibility for learning is placed upon the student. So one quality of determining whether your strategy is learner-centered, well, one thing is it is active learning. So often working in collaboration with classmates. So inactive learning, teachers are facilitators rather than one-way providers of information. So sorry, this is inactive learning, no? So it's not one word na inactive. So inactive. So muna din na siya nga facilitators tayo di na ta. So nahog nga students will do more of the work, but in a very good way, no, in a bright manner nga. Of course, the teachers now doesn't mean nga magtinapulan, but they are already the facilitators. Kita ang mo guide. And especially manggod nga, in this process, it's actually very, very critical. I can say it might be dangerous, especially that um, mag-explore magud ang bata. It might lead to misconceptions, misunderstandings about the learning. So that's why the teacher should be there to validate what they also learn. Okay, so kinahanglan jud nga the teacher will be there to teach them whether what they found out, what they discovered, what they explored, and how they understood it is right or wrong. So muna siyang kinahanglan gid kita nga teachers, kita ang mo guide nila. That's the job of the facilitators to know whether the students are doing the right things in the right way, no? So muna siya nga dili gid gyapon siya pasabot nga tungod ang students magbuhat sa tanan or mostly sa tanan magtinapula na si teacher, so it's not that. So the teacher should also be the part leader gyapon ang teacher sa classroom. So muna siya nga teacher gid gyapon ang masunod sa flow sa klase. All right. So instructional models. So models give a philosophical orientation to instruction and the broadest level of instructional activities. So for a certain instructional emphasis, models are used to choose a structured teaching tactics, methods, skills, and student activities. So theories of how humans learn are tied to instructional models. If you remember, the behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, and connectionism are a few examples. So these broad categories can be used to group a variety of learning theories, including those examined in the CALP subject that we had, such as an adult learning theory, transformative learning, social interaction, motivation theory, and others. So if not the instructional model, if we will dig deeper, so we also have instructional strategies. Within each model, several strategies can be used. So strategies determine the approach a teacher may take to achieve learning objectives. Strategies can be classed as direct, indirect, interactive, experiential, or independent. So don't forget that one, guys. And so let's get to know these different strategies. So the direct instruction strategy is highly teachers directed and is among the most commonly used. So this strategy includes methods such as lecture, didactic questioning, explicit teaching, practice and drill, and demonstrations. So the direct instruction strategy is effective for providing information or developing step-by-step skills. So this strategy also works well for introducing other teaching methods or actively involving students in knowledge construction. So even though mura siya mapaminaw to ma-understand to siya as something very teacher-centered or traditional approach, but mo na siya guys nga it doesn't mean nga tungod traditional bati na siya. Okay? Naa siya'y certain good nga occasion when we are going to use the direct instruction strategy. And the opposite of the direct instruction strategy is the indirect instruction. Inquiry, induction, problem solving, decision making, and discovery are terms that are used sometimes interchangeably to describe indirect instruction. So you see there the difference between the two. Okay? So kuan kay siya na siya iyang kaugalingon gud nga ginig so murag na the question karon is unsa ka nga mga topics no sa ato ang field kailangan ta mag-direct instruction strategy or mag-indirect instruction strategy. Or another question is, unsa ka nga topic pud pwede tanan. So that might happen, no? So it is still a case-to-case basis ang ato ang gamiton paggamit sa aning mga different strategies. All right. So moving on. All right. So in contrast to the direct instruction strategy, indirect instruction is mainly student-centered, although the two strategies can complement each other gyapon. So examples of indirect instruction methods include reflective discussion, concept formation, concept attainment, problem solving, and guided inquiry. So kana sila. All right. So for sure, along the way with your teaching experience, with your education course experience, you will get to know more of these strategies put from the other teachers, especially that I believe in every year level you will be making your lesson plans. So perhaps no, you can explore these different types. So another one is interactive instruction. So we relies heavily on discussion and sharing among participants. So the interactive instruction strategy allows for a range of groupings and interactive methods. So this may include total class discussions, small group discussions, or projects, or student pairs, or triads working on assignments together. So more of discussion, no, with the different groupings. So so let's moving on. Let's move on. Experiential learning. So inductive, learner-centered, and activity-oriented siya. So the emphasis in experiential learning is on the process of learning and not on the product. So personalized reflection about an experience and the formulation of plans to apply the acquired skills to other contexts are critical factors in effective experiential learning. So experiential learning greatly increases understanding and retention in comparison to methods that solely involve listening, reading, or even viewing. So students are usually more motivated when they actively participate, no? So participate. Okay. And teach one another by describing what they are doing. So muna siya nga it's going to be kuan siya kanang activities, no? Activities atong ipabuhat sa mga bata. And then right after that, of course, there will still be conversation. And what's nice about this is, of course, within the grouping, within the experience, they will already learn, no? Within themselves, kung unsay mga topics ninyo on that day, no? So mo din na siya, come in na din si teacher to validate all the learnings of the individual. All right? So I'm just correcting my slide here. Anyways, so here's what we have another one, independent study. So refers to the range of instructional methods which are purposefully provided to foster the development of individual student initiative, self-reliance, and self-improvement. So independent study can also include learning in partnership with another individual or as part of a small group. So the instructor must make sure that learners have the necessary skill to accomplish the task. So independent study is very flexible, so it can be used as the major instructional strategy with the whole class in combination with other strategies, or it can be used with one or more individuals, while another strategy is used with the rest of the class. So muna siya guys nga kuan pwede ra pud nga we can have each individual to study on their own, no? And in where this is para nila pod it will develop kuan pod independence, no? So kay bo pod sila mo work on their own. So muna siya nga night times siguro sa imong klase nga you will have groupings. There will also be times that it will be done individually, no? So however, karon sa inyong pag-create og lesson plan, so most of you are first years or second year, so muna siya it will be done by group. So however, there will be a time nga individual na gid ang paghimo ana niya. Okay? So ingana pod kanindot ang independent study. So muna you have the options guys in your classes good. Okay? So instructional methods are used by teachers to create learning environments and to specify the nature of the activity in which the teacher and learner will be involved during the lesson. So while particular methods are often associated with certain strategies, some methods may be found within a variety of strategies. So now we're getting deeper na, no? Nagka-specific na ta sa tuang discussion. Okay. So here are the examples, no? For direct instruction, indirect, experiential, independent, and interactive instruction. So kung kamo nga teachers ko, you already have your examples here. So kamo na lang pili, no? Um, so for direct instruction, you have here drill and practice, compare and contrast, didactic questions, demonstrations, guides for reading, listening, viewing, and then indirect instructions, so problem solving, case studies, concept mapping, concept formation, reflective discussion, and then another one, experiential learning. So muna field trips, games, simulations, field observations, role playings, surveys. So those are experiential, and then independent studies. So we have essays, reports, research projects, assigned questions, and for interactive instruction, we have debates, brainstorming, think, pair, share, tutorial groups, interviewing, and then you can also have laboratory groups, cooperative learning groups. So focusing more on collaboration with group mates, diba? All right. And of course, here we have the effect on the different types of involvement. So first, kamo na bahala gyud og pili gid ani, but you know that there is a catch. But dili gyud ko motuon nga even though low involvement siya, bati na gid ni siya ha. Again, it's a case to case basis. It sometimes it depends on the topic or the time that you have or the nature of the course perhaps. Kamo siya low involvement, lecture, panel discussion, demonstration, computer-based drills, based tutorials, Socratic dialogue and tutorials, and then medium involvement. You have your group discussion, behavior modeling, observation, reflective practice, asynchronous, in online forums, emails, audio, video conferencing, and 3D interactive learning activities, and high involvement role play, debates, case studies, simulations, web quest, internet searches, jigsaw, real-time relay charts, in-basket exercises, problem-based learning, project-based learning, collaborative learning, and query learning. So, you see now the kuan, you see now as in yung options yun. So, para na ko the higher the involvement, the more learner-centered siya. But with your power and creativity, as a teacher, so you can make this low involvement something that can be improvised nga mahimo din siyang learner-centered, di ba? So for example, imong lecture, you can develop your lecture. Panel discussion, you can develop your panel discussion into a much better one. So you have to use your creativity with that. Okay? And then maybe the question now is, um, how do we know that it's how do we know that our approach is student-centered siya? So, taking a look at this one, so we have the framework. in where we have here the different questions that we have to answer, and then things that we can do, to make sure that we keep in mind the focus of the learning process, which is the students. So first is, how do we respond to students' needs? So that is when we adjust. And then what do we want students to know, understand, and able to do? So muna siya, we have to plan that out. And then how do we use the content, technology, and pedagogy to engage all learners? So muna siya, it should be engaging. And lastly, monitor. So how do we know students are learning? So dapat gyapon na to siya nga i-monitor. So muna siya ang ato ang makapa learner centered ang ato ang approach, no, kanang kuan, adjust, plan, engage, monitor for the sake of the student. So murag ang more of tanaw ang mga pangutana, 'di ba, it's all about the students. So sila gid ang ato ang focus manggod. So kini sa nga mga pangutana dili kita mo't makatubag ani, but maybe our observations can be the basis. Or perhaps if we don't have enough information, we can ask them instead. No, we can seek for their prior knowledge, and by that we can um, plan it out na dayon based sa framework na provide. Okay, all right. So the 7 effective teaching strategies for the classroom. So, as a teacher, there is no one size fits all solution. So here's a range of effective teaching strategies you can use to inspire your classroom practice. So, here we also have visualization. So, in visualization, bring dull academic concepts to life with visual and practical learning experiences, so helping your students to understand how their schooling applies in the real world. What's in it for them? What's the implication if they will learn this stuff? No, so pinaka-challenging igurani mga math teachers to help them understand the connection of numbers, specifically the different math areas, no? The different math areas for the students. So what's in it for them? Why is there a need for them to understand? So um, in order for them to visualize, so we have some ways on how to let them visualize. Examples including the use of interactive whiteboard to display photos, audio clips, and videos, as well as encouraging your students to get out of their seats with classroom experiments and local field trips. Oh, so if we want to describe something as maybe something very abstract that may not be found inside the classroom. So there may be a need to go outside, in ana. But perhaps we have to be careful also when going out. Careful tana kay mga disgrasya unta niya ta. So aside from visualization, here we have, okay, kadit lang guys. All right. Okay, cooperative learning. So encourage students of mixed abilities to work together. Muna siya cooperative learning siya. So through verbally expressing their ideas and responding to others, to where your students will develop self-confidence as well as enhance their communication and critical thinking skills, which are vital throughout life. So solving math puzzles, conducting scientific experiments, and acting out short drama sketches. So these are examples of cooperative learning. Okay, so for sure nakaagi na gid mo gingani, and perhaps this will be very good for them to understand better. Sometimes guro the learning not comes from the classmates, not from the teacher gani, no? So muna siya nga we can involve the classmates to learn from each other. Okay, inquiry based instruction. So pose thought-provoking questions which inspire students to think for themselves and become more independent learners. So encouraging students to ask questions and investigate their ideas helps improve their problem-solving skills as well as gain a deeper understanding of academic concepts. So both of which are important life skills. So inquiries can be science or math-based, such as why does my shadow change size? Or is the sum of two odd number always an even number? So however, they can also be subjective, encourage students to express their unique views. So, like, do poems have rhyme or um, have to rhyme, or should all students wear uniform? So, kana siya nung nga thought-provoking questions murag nahog nga maka-trigger sa ilahang analysis, sa ilang critical thinking, no? All right, differentiation. So you're teaching by allocating task based on students' abilities to ensure no one gets left behind. So, assigning classroom activities according to students' unique learning needs. So, means individuals with higher academic capabilities are stretched and those who are struggling get the appropriate support. So, this can involve handing out worksheets that vary in complexity to different groups and of students or setting up a range of workstations around the classroom which contain an assortment of tasks for students to choose from. So, muna siya nga differentiation can also be applied in a classroom with very unique individuals. No, na bright na ay kailangan po natong tabangan jud og maayo. So, differentiation can be applied. Okay? And another one is technology in the classroom. So, muna siya nga so aside guro from kining PowerPoint presentation or bring projector, so we can perhaps use other means of technology that the students can use. So for perhaps blogging or search videos from YouTube or visiting different websites and with the use of mobile devices or interactive whiteboards and or perhaps gani sila mismo ang maghimo sa mga videos. So those are very good things that you can let your students do when talking about involving technology in the classroom. Okay. Also, behavior management can be done. So it is crucial to gaining your students' respect and ensuring students have an equal chance of reaching their full potential. So, we cannot avoid ha, especially in high school and elementary, that noisy, disruptive classrooms do not encourage a productive learning environment. Therefore, developing an atmosphere of mutual respect through a combination of discipline and reward can be beneficial for both you and your students. So examples include fun and interactive reward charts for younger students, where individuals move up or down based on behavior, with the top student receiving a prize at the end of the week. So golden time can also work for students of all ages with a choice of various activities such as games or no homework in reward for their hard work. So kana. Um, I believe not all teachers can manage the behavior well of the students. So the question is, do you have that skill? Okay. So again, dili ra batanan. So if you think nga you don't have the behavior management skill, muna siya we have to work on that skill. Okay. Another one is professional development. So engaging in regular professional development programs is a great way to enhance teaching and learning in your classroom. So with educational policies constantly changing, it is extremely useful to attend events where you can gain inspiration from other teachers and academics. So sessions can include learning about new educational technologies, online safety training, advice on how to use your teaching assistants, and much more. So you may let your students join conferences, 'di ba? I believe in CNU, especially in CTE, natay gitawag nga TestCon. So it's a research conference. It's an international conference led by College of Teacher Education. I believe we are already in our 10th year, no? 11th year, guro, sa tuang international conference. And every year, students join that. So, inig ka third year gid sa mga students or fourth year, they are already invited to join that conference. Either mag-audience lang or mag-present og ilang kaugalingon nga research. So that's way of learning, no? Learning and of course, in return, uh, developing yourself professionally. Okay? So again, international conference na. Okay. So here we have lesson two, assessment criteria for effective lessons. So all teachers engage in certain levels of strategic and tactical planning. And then if strategic planning involves instructional planning for broader long-term learning goals, so for instance, semester end and or year-end goals, and tactical planning involves using specific resources to achieve short-term sub-goals, often in the form of lesson plan. So muna siya guys nga, we also have to plan out our assessments, include na to ang atong assessments ato ang planning gyud. Okay? So muna siya. So sequencing and grouping learning goals into lessons help teachers space instruction over the year. All right. So Right. So here are the things that you have to think, when you are going to make your assessment. So there are some criteria that you have to follow. First is clear learning objectives. So some guide questions for creating learning objectives in the lesson plan might include: are the learning objectives appropriately challenging? And do they align with the curriculum standards? So kana. Are learning objectives able to cover meaningful content, skills, or dispositions? Will students be able to answer the questions of this? This is important because, di ba? Nice kini siya nga mga questions, guys, to determine your objectives. So, what are the essential questions to be answered in the lesson? What are the most important concepts or skills to be learned? Are the learning objectives clearly stated in terms of student learning rather than classroom activity or teacher behaviors? And lastly, will the students understand the learning objectives, and will they be able to articulate them articulate them in their own words? So, muna siya nga kinahanglan gyud klaro nga to ang learning objectives. So, for me, I consider it the shorter the better. Dili ko ganan anang sobraan gyud kataas or or sa usa ka kuan sa usa ka objective daghan na kay siya buhaton. So kuan gyud ta, we have to be practical sometimes. To do not forget the smart O. 'Di ba nga we have to be careful with the smart O kay kuan manggod kanang basin niya na sobraan na ta ka ambitious or wala gid siya nitubag sa imong objective or di gid mao dapat or napay mas better nga objective nga imong himuon. Okay? So dili ta dapat nga kanang okay kinira kong pilion, but sometimes gyud kinahanglan you have to understand nga you have to think of the most essential objective for that topic. Okay? Unsa gyud pinaka-essential niya. Okay? So next one, building on prior knowledge. So some guiding questions to anchor the new learning to prior learning include: what are students' preconceptions and misconceptions about the subject matter? Oh, so kanang ikaw kay ba ka ana no as teacher, so how can the new learning hang on students prior knowledge and real world experience o kana. So importante gid gyapon mga makahibaw ta kay sometimes bas what kahibaw na day mga students nga hanging sa ilahang old nga mga topics or subjects nga wala gid ay sila nakasabot, no? So, if nahimo na ba'y mga pre-existing data nga pwede nato tan-awon and where maka-diagnose na din ta didto, di ba? So, if wala, so unsa man nato siya? So, how can easy and effective pre-assessments be created that can be analyzed quickly without taking too much instructional time? Oh, so that's the challenge sometimes with pre-assessment kay medyo taas siya og time, no? Okay, of course, we are taking one session for that to conduct the pre-assessment. So, how could students' abilities, strengths, and weaknesses, as well as interests, be incorporated into the lesson o kana? So, knowing what they are capable of is also important as a teacher. Okay, learning, lesson planning quality three. So, an engaging, opening activity o kana. So, with our careful planning, it is very easy to spend more than 10 minutes at the beginning of a class taking attendance, distributing or collecting homework, and making announcements without engaging and meaningful teaching learning at all. So, an intriguing and engaging opening activity. So, multimedia presentation, anticipatory set, focusing event, our advanced organizer can pick students' curiosity and motivate them to engage in the new learning right from the beginning of the class. So, muna siya nga effective gyud dapat imong opening activity. Again, I keep on telling them nga motivation pang daan, palpak na. So, students will not be motivated to listen to you. Nga na. So, dapat again creativity gyud ta guys. Okay, so here are the questions, no? How can you activate prior knowledge and relate it to the current lesson? Or how can you activate the current lesson, di ba? How can you activate the students to listen to the current lesson? How can you help students see a meaningful need to learn the new information? Okay na, di ba? What are some thought-provoking questions nga makatrigger sa student attention and interest? And what will you show the students, what will show the students the new knowledge and skills have connection to their career and or life goals or even how the knowledge and goals fit with their interests today. So kamo kay bogid mo nganong gidiscuss nato ni? 'Di ba? Because again, maghimo biya mo lesson plans gid soon. So are there specific examples linking the present learning to real world problems? And lesson planning at quality for effective instructional strategies, learning activities. So kini siya so again, procedure ni mga parts, so the sequence and organization of instruction. So kinahanglan jud nga you have to emphasize well the sequence. And then of course, organized ba siya gyud dapat, di ba? And another one is accommodating learning differences. So, sensitive ba ni imuhang activities, imong approach sa tanan nga mga kuan, sa mga tanan nga mga individuals, especially nga unique sila tanan, di ba? So dili maybe tingali if dili cream class ang atong gihandle. So ang atong lesson planning ba nga gihimo kay kuan maka-accommodate ba sa pinaka bright o pinaka dili bright jud sa klase, no? Kung so again kung cream class so sayo na jud guro kay dili gyud na siya challenging ang pag-deliver sa lesson kay bisan gani guro di na lang kamo discuss makuha ra na sa mga bata. And of course, no, flexibility. So, kung moingon ka karon og flexibility, so kana pwede ba gid siya o kanang kuan maka-adjust ba ni siya diretso kung naay kinahanglan nga i-change. For example, wala na tay ample time, di ba? Or can we remove something or nindot ba nga ma-adjust na to siya? So, ma-adjust and then ma-adjust ba nato siya? So, no, what will you do if time is too short or too long? Or just going back to the daily learning log sa DepEd. So, like, you're being provided with that. Pero what if ang time kay kakahurot na or wala na lang gid mo enough time kay tungod nahurot yung oras sa mga activities sa school or perhaps, no, school intramurals or sinulog kay nahurot sa oras sa sige practice kay nag-apilang eskwelahan sa contest. And then what will you do now? So flexible ba ang imong kuan? So can you make some adjustments with the daily learning like presented to you or kanim gihimo nga lesson plan? 'Di ba? So what will the students do if they finish early? O kana, what if sayo ra kay nahuman ang imuhang discussion kay bright kay mong klase. So imo din gihimo din nga lesson plan it's good for the students nga katong need og emphasis gyud sa pag-discuss. Okay, so perhaps you can take that into consideration, ang imong flexibility as well. Okay, so lesson planning quality 5, so sticking the closure. So if the closure of a lesson is left out in planning, an important teachable moment is overlooked. So an effective closure activity summarizes, clarifies, and reinforces what has been learned and helps make the learning stick in students' long-term memory. So at the end of the lesson, students should walk away with the desired compelling need to retain and use what was learned. So, examples of wrap-up activities might include having students tell an aha moment. Okay, mo di ay. So, they had in the lesson. So, nindot kay na siya, no? And having them write a postcard to their parents explaining what they learned in the lesson. Or, dili go a postcard, maybe they are willing to share what they learned inside their classroom. So, those are aha moments. Di ba? So, these are the questions. So, how can the closure revisit the learning objectives to reinforce and review key concepts, ideas, and principles? And another one, how can you include an active review where students self-assess their understanding or wonder what they would to know, would like to know more about? Or is it possible to give an interesting and an unexpected prompt at the end to capture students' interest? Or can you discuss in what situations students might use the new information? Yun nga, di ba? And then here in our lesson planning quality 6, quality assessment. So, of course, during the lesson, how will you know if the students are making progress toward the objectives? O kana, maka-identify siya. and ang imong assessment. So how can you determine whether the lesson objectives have been accomplished at the end of the lesson o kana? So mura ba ni mag-determine whether the objectives have been attained? Another one is what kind of product, if any, will you expect from the students at the end of the lesson? Another one is how will you evaluate students' performance and provide feedback? So will you be using rubrics? How will the assessment results be communicated to the students? So perhaps most importantly, what will you do with the assessment results for building your next lesson o kana? These are very relevant questions nga inyong dapat i-keep in mind. Kay the assessment is the end of that current lesson and you have to get the answer there to whether you can move on to the next topic or not. Okay? And so here, lesson 3, effective teaching skills. So, Kanisha, how will you be the teacher that you want to be when you have the chance na? No? So, teachers influence the lives of students much more significantly. A teacher with the right skills inspires and influences entire students' lives. So, thus, an instrument that can ignite powerful thoughts in students, helping them unleash their true potential. To bring out such long-standing impacts, teachers need to have a variety of teaching skills. So first, we have the discipline skills. So sa nato na siya, discipline is an important skill that you should possess as a teacher. And it should be effectively done. So your discipline ensures that positive behavior is encouraged inside the classroom. So positive behavior, dili nga negative ang ma-impact na niya. Diba? So, um, a vital component of effective classroom management is your discipline skills. Okay? So, we have to be careful with the discipline skills. So, not by punishment, no? Not by punishment, but maybe we can have consequences. Kanang, ay lang guro ng punishment. Maybe guro consequences lang, di ba? Or you can give them rewards. Okay? Going back to the theories that we learned in CALC, nga subject. So I believe that was Eduk 1, in where we can use the how to discipline someone. Okay, but of course, no physical disciplining. Kanang, of course, physical abuse is not good. Pamunal, but more of kuan na lang guro, no? Reminders. Unsaon ta man na kanang dapat gud magkasinabot gud ta sa atong klase before ta magsugod. Dapat everyone is ready. Dapat teachers should be prompt. No, teachers should be kuan yun, should be ready to face the class. Dapat yun kanang teacher gid ang masunod, and you may have to make them understand that in a very positive way imong gusto pod. No? Nga para po sila kaayuhan pod. Number 2, classroom management skills. So to be an effective teacher, you should also be able to help students develop a study of work habits. Kana good classroom management skill starts with setting certain ground rules o kana. So probably if you have very good ground rules and kahibawd ka mo emphasize ana, perhaps disciplining won't be a problem. So to stress the importance of classroom dignity. Classroom dignity. So teachers should exercise patience along with a deep sense of care and kindness toward their wards. Okay? Observation skills. So, kini atong observation skills, kinahanglan gid nga we know the flow of the class, no? So, understanding the cognitive, emotional, and social development of our students, the environment of our classroom, what's happening to the atmosphere, perhaps. Um, class can be a mix of slow learners and intelligent students. So you should also be should also acknowledge that, di ba? So you should be an effective tutor. So you should be observant to your students in every way. So not just by their intellect, but also to their emotions. And for example, kini pong social skill sa mga bata na uban nga mga bata nga shy, na uban nga bata nga mga outspoken kaayo. So how will you help these shy students, no? Or even bullying. Dapat maka-observe pud ka no nga naagi mga students gid nga why are they silent? Maybe they have a problem at home, or perhaps they may have a problem with their classmates nga muna what is waka kahibaw nga the child have been experiencing bullying since the first grading, and karon fourth grading na wa jud ka kahibaw, di ba? So kinahanglan jud you should have these observation skills. And in order for you to have these observation skills, para nga murag dali ra ka maka-observe, I think you should also have the number for student engagement skills. So, dapat gid nga kay baw ka mo connect sa inyong students. So, developing a strong rapport with students is one of the best ways to ensure your students are engaged in class. So, showing genuine interest in them and with their interests. So, student engagement skills come naturally to some teachers, but others can develop them with practice. So, kana, di ba? So, kuan, one way guro para magdi po ka maglisod sa imong classroom management is you should know how to engage with your learners. And number five, strong communication skills with students and parents. So, kaibaw ka mo, communicate og sakto sa imong mga bata. Perhaps kanang kuan, you have to control the things that you have to choose the words that you're going to speak about, the topics nga imong dapat storyahan. And then, of course, no, kanang kinahanglan maayo kay kamuhatag og advice. Aside from that, aside from mastering the subject, no? So what if bright na kay kasi mo topic, and then what if may pagiging ka mo hatag og um, parently advice to your students. So no, dili gid guro mo makalimtan sa inyong mga students. And aside from that, communicating with the parents as well, no? So kanang kuan, nagi mga parents guro nga sobra ka strict, napoy mga parents pud nga buutan pud kaayo, napoy ban nga mga upfront jud kaayo, no? Mga frank kay nga mga teachers, kinahanglan kay bawo pud ta mo control sa tong emotions kay basi niya maka-lead og conflict na noon, no? So, kana or kanang labo nagmasuko manggod ta, 'di ba? Sometimes we don't know to control ourselves na, and then lahi na nun atong mastorya or mabuhat gani. Okay, so teaching skills so muna siya. You need to have the backup, you need to have the tools as a teacher. The different tools, so the different methods, strategies, approaches na inyong mabuhat sa klase, no? So, dapat kahibaw ka. What if the situation is like this? What if it's going to happen like this? You should have a plan A, plan B, plan C. Kahibaw ka mo solve ang mga problems. So just like wala na kay time, what if na student nga wala late nakapasa assignment or wala nakapasa sa exam or na students nga nag-away or what if na kay nalimtan nga vital kay nga information sa discussion, so what will you do about that? Okay. So as a noble profession that can change lives, the students for the better effective teacher requires good interpersonal skills along with effective speaking and strong presentation skills. So teaching skills include all of this and more and such as great organizational skills. Okay, seven, subject matter expertise o kana. If you are, trust me guys, if master gikan ninyong topic, no, bali-balihon mo, kay budget mo mutubag, your students will really admire you. Here's the thing guys. What if na ay pangutana ang student sa imuhang nga dili ka katubag or you don't know the answer? What are you going to do? Okay, subject matter expertise. So dapat yun kahibaw jud ka. So dili ka pwede nga mingon that will be your assignment for tomorrow. Ipangutanon ka. So but if as much as possible good subject matter expertise good dapat maayo kita sa tong mga topics good. Okay? Time management skills, wala lang ako nag-elaborate because of course, no, kinahanglan jud nga you have to know how to divide your time. Okay, sa imong klase, sa imong lesson plan. Remember, katong natin mga lesson plans nga, na ito sample sa lesson plan nga each part nagid siya minutes kung pila da siya dapat i-perform. Okay? And clear planning skills. So, planning ahead of time. So, perhaps, guro, before pa magsugod ang semester, before pa magsugod ang klase for this week, before pa magsugod ang klase for this month, before pa magsugod ang klase for this day, dapat nakaplano na ka, no? As a teacher. So, para after that, you'll be very, very confident in performing your topic from start of the first day up to the last day. All right. And of course, no passion and positivity is to learn from experience, and there would be a constant search for methods to improve as a teacher. Maintaining a positive attitude is also very important as you are a role model for the students. So, kana. So, ikaw nga teacher sa high school or elementary, you are now the one considered as the second parent. You are now considered as the role model. Again, kung unsay makita ra ba sa mga bata, mo say buhaton sa teacher. So if ikaw magbinugoy jud ka as a teacher sa imong mga high school and elementary students, there might be a big possibility nga ikaw gid ang ma-follow nila gihapon. So muna siya, if maayo jud kay kanila, maayo jud sila nimo pod. Ilag yung makita ilang ka nila imong kaayo. Okay? Another 11, be a team player. So students would love to have teachers who are friendly and understands them rather than forcing students to learn by disciplining. Working with your students as a team would help them have fun while learning. So nga na ka na kuan ka ng be approachable, no? Sa kung nasa kuan awa may ubang teachers nga nagduol awayon din diretso. So ay dili guro nga na. So o pag kay bawon si tuyo gyud, di ba? So perhaps maminaw sad guro ta as teachers. Okay? And lastly, patience. So there are going to be a few students who would test your patience, but even in college, no? Ma-test gyud gyapon akong patience gyud sa akong mga students. And but if you lose your nerves during such testing times, it can produce only negative outcomes. So muna siya nga you should know how to count 1 to 100 um in times nga murag i-test na gid imong patience kay bawo ka mo pakalma gid sa imong kaugalingon. So muna siya, alabo na sa maybe guro considerate ka or sometimes you have to understand why is this happening, okay? And maybe you have to go back to the disciplining part, classroom management, di ba? Para nga kuan, dili ka ma-high blood. So being patient and working with troublesome students individually will improve the classroom as atmosphere effectively. Oh, so maybe guro imong himuon nga mayor sa imong klase ang pinakabugoy. So something like that, di ba? So um it will be very interesting for your class. Okay? So, this is the end of the discussion for Unit 4. And by this one, you will be ready with your lesson planning. And so for some, you may revisit your lesson plans now and see if it will be effective, um, or there might be some revisions needed. Okay? So, trust in your ability. Kaya ragid kayo ninyo na, guys. And I will be rooting for all of you. Okay? So thank you very much guys for your time and I'll see you all soon.